Oh, and of course, you can't do this without messing up. No way. But people, you're here. It's Friday, and it's actually starting the show.
It's working! It's working, Nick!
It's actually working. I cannot believe this never happens. I do not understand why it never does happen, but it never does. Anthony, we made it. Ninja, we made it. and Hovik, you've been here too when we try to do these, man. I even tried to do this just me and you by ourselves, and it still doesn't work, man. It's a pretty big deal.
It's a sign from beyond.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness, people. So yeah, we are here. It's Friday, and this is not a reaction show. We're not doing that typical thing where we sit there and we go like, "This is what I thought about what we just watched. It was boring." Duh. This is actually called MCA Spoiler Show, because on the side we have everything that we're gonna talk about spoiled for you right in front of your face. So I have to go back to the Google Docs. So it makes it easier for me, right? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Exactly. So, you know what, Nick? Do you want to just hop straight into NXT?
Let's hop straight into this shit. So first off, man, the people's champ, The Rock, the people's president. I don't know why, dude. I've been hearing about
this. Get your ass out of here with that shit.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ovik. Have you been reading this as much as I have? Like, have you keep seeing this on social media or anything, or no?
Oh my fucking god! It's like, is The Rock? But I was like, man, first Kanye West, now the fucking Rock. Man, get your shit out of here with that. God damn, everybody's bitching and moaning that we already have a celebrity in the fucking White House, and I'm like, oh, now okay, it's okay if it's The Rock or fucking Kanye. Get out of here with this shit.
They should call him The Rock Obama. Get it?
Yeah, I think that's ironic, because didn't they do that joke on Saturday Night Live where Rock did impersonate Obama?
And they actually did jokes about Donald Trump being president like 20 years ago, and then it fucking happened. So I'm like, Jesus, I'm sick of jokes being reality. Like, life is a fucking joke, Anthony. Like,
yeah, it is.
It's the funny thing is, it's like this shit happens with me and my cousin. Every time we have an idea, oh, just for the shits and giggles, let's look into it. And we look into it, it actually happens.
Oh,
like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
It's hilarious, and I really hate that this is happening, because it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we should be focusing more on like real life politics instead of like, I don't know, fantasy booking the world. Like, do this shit on SimCity 2000. You know, make an account named The Rock as president. Like, I don't know.
Type it in. Like, what would be his gimmick as president? Like, would Rock be a heel or a face?
The people's president.
The people's country.
The people's country.
Well, American pie.
If you smell what freedom tastes like.
If you smell what freedom is cooking, yeah, fucking nuclear weapons.
And then he'll be pointing at his like goosebumps and shit. He'd be like, "This is the 50 states."
The 50 states. This is the 50 states of the Brahma Bull.
The 50 states. No, it'd be his shirts would say Republicans to Democrats.
Rock Republicans.
Rock Republicans.
The Rock.
No, this just goes to show you that people do not take politics seriously no more. I mean, look at Brexit. Look at this shit. It's just
that shit is fucked. That shit is fucked, man.
They don't care. So
Team bless it. I'm sorry.
But hey,
bless America, man.
I mean, we got Donald Trump as president now. Kanye West says he wants to fucking run. Fuck it, throwing The Rock in the mix. He's actually probably gonna win this shit.
You know, and his work ethic, dude. I can see that actually working out, man. The Rock, to put so much work in everything and so much multitasking. I think if there's anybody who has the brain power to actually do this shit, it would be The Rock. I mean, I don't know.
He's charismatic. Like, that's one thing Obama had too. Is just like, he's a likable guy. He's a gentleman. You might be divided on his presidential run, but The Rock is charismatic. And I know you even hate that, Nick. You were like, damn, I fucking hate this guy. Like, I really don't like Rock and all the Hollywood Rock and shit like that. But you gotta admit that he's got the crowd over. He's a people pleaser. He's a people person. Like he said, the people's champ. So he's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah, and speaking of getting the crowd over, we got a superstar over here, okay? A superstar. Woo! Nick Leslie, how you doing, Mr. Cheap Pop Inc.? I don't know why I said it like that.
Was that a dog getting run over?
No, that was actually a pterodactyl. He was transforming into a predator now. You know, yeah. And I'm over here with Jello and my spoon just shaking and shit like just.
Where's the podcast? Where's the podcast?
Where's it go?
Where's it go?
I fucking love that. That part in Jurassic Park was one of my favorites, man. Just like, where's it go? It's hilarious.
Where's like if The Rock was president, who would be his vice president? Though that's the question.
Shit, you know it's gonna be Mick Foley.
I was gonna say the same thing. Just to be a dumbass.
Man, The Rock is sock connection.
It's either gonna be Mick Foley and Stone Cold's gonna be the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They said so. Kick their asses.
Oh shit. Okay, you know what? Actually, mute the other one. I'm gonna put it like this. Here you go. Leslie, I can actually hear myself quite a bit.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, cool. But yeah, people, just so you guys know, Nick Leslie is a guy who does his own wrestling podcast called Cheap Pop Inc. I actually do, before we started doing Ringside Hangout, I used to listen to Nick Leslie's podcast all the time, man. Like, I love this shit. Also doing Pop Culture Inc. or what's it called? It's like, I forgot what it's called. But yeah.
Wait, what a culture?
No, not What Culture.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, it was called Cheap Pop Culture. It was like a play on the word or whatever. Wait,
yeah,
what
exactly.
The fuck?
Yeah, dude. Okay, and there's another thing that's funny. So people that are into Double Toasted, if you're a Double Toasted fan, you would know that Nick Leslie is a casual caller. You've called a lot during the shows or whatnot. They called you, and every single time you've called, there's always been a thing where Nick Leslie goes, "Wow, what the fuck? Oh, fucking shit."
Yes, yeah, because I always like my internet's usually great, except for like when I'm doing these calls. It's like ridiculous. I don't know why, but.
Oh man, well I'm glad to have you here, man. And I was gonna, we're about to move on to the other topic, but I'm kind of curious, dude. Like, have you heard about this whole Rock as president of 2020 thing?
Yeah, I've heard about it. And am I coming in clear and everything now, or?
Yeah. Could be better, but I can hear myself. But it's all good. We'll work with it. But yeah, so
yeah, it's I've heard about it, and it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I'm not really into celebrities running for president at all. And I love The Rock, but I think that now the presidency shouldn't be like, oh, I got a lot of followers or whatever. I have a fan base, so I should, go run for president. I don't think it should really be that way, but that's just me.
That's the thing. I'm kind of curious if, like, The Rock became president, he would do something where he makes the flag look like a Brahma bull with the one on his fucking shirt. Like,
yeah, it would be a Brahma bull with that fucking Hawaiian tribal tattoo that's on his fucking arm.
I would love this shit, man. But no, but to move on to the next thing, though, because, once again, like, yeah, The Rock, he's amazing. I'm sick of this shit. I don't like The Rock. So, with the next thing, I do like Zack Ryder. And, yeah, I can hear myself a lot. I'm going to lower you just a little bit more, Nick, so just don't be offended. So, as far as Zack Ryder goes, Anthony, do you give a shit at all about Zack Ryder's return? Because he was kind of on the what do you call that?
No, he was and that's the sad thing about it. Like I think they called the Hype Bros. Yeah, that was the tag team that they was going to go with. Yeah, the Hype Bros. They was actually going to get that whole push and shit like that. Zack Ryder was actually going to get that another opportunity to be pushed, but yet again, he was injured. Like the fucking we always bring up his other storyline where he was so close to being pushed but that whole embrace the hate Kane storyline just said, you know what? Like this wheelchair, it goes right off the stage, just like your career. So yet again, like Zack Ryder gets the shitty end of the stick, which is interesting too because I want him to come back. The only thing is I want them not to repackage him. Like he still does the whole, Long Island iced tea gimmick or whatever, the woo 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 shit, but just make it a little bit more, I wouldn't say darker, but just a little bit more serious in tone because Zack Ryder, he's way bigger now than he was back then. Zack Ryder, and there he is right there. When Kane pushed him off that fucking stage, that was his career. That shit was gone.
I just love that scene. I could watch that 100 times, dude. Just like, whoa, whoa,
whoa. You knew it. Nah, but the thing is, it's like, because like I said, Zack Ryder is a big motherfucker now. And he was not that big back in the day, back when they was doing that storyline. So it's just like he has to act a little bit more serious. He can't be that whole call me. He can't be that whole guy anymore. And what I actually thought would be actually kind of cool to work it into like a storyline perspective. Mojo Rawley has actually been getting the push and stuff like that. Something that Zack Ryder and both of them was promised. So why not when Zack Ryder comes back, he's almost like a heel and he's jealous of Mojo Rawley. Like, dude, we were supposed to do this together, bro. We were supposed to do this together. He's actually beating his ass like, oh, you getting all these opportunities? You would have never run that battle royal if it wasn't for me because I was always supporting you and now you're not supporting me. You didn't go to the hospital. That could be a really interesting fucking storyline.
Hey, dude, I was eating. Leave me alone. I'm sorry.
So like it plus it gives something Mojo Rawley to do until they're ready to move him up, into the whole Jinder Mahal position, go for the main belt, go for the Intercontinental belt or whatever. It'll give something for Zack Ryder to do as well. So it'd be better than that fucking backstage segment that I had to sit through on fucking SmackDown. So
Yeah, man. No, and God, I'm so sick of all those backstage fucking things with the Hype Brothers. Now, Nick Leslie, are you a fan of the Hype Bros, man?
I was just getting into them, like just coming around to the Hype Bros when Ryder got hurt. I mean, I'm not a huge Mojo Rawley fan. I'm more of a Zack Ryder guy. I think he's really talented. I think he's underrated. But yeah, it just seems like every time this guy gets a bit of momentum, he gets hurt or something happens, and it's it's just a shame. I mean, he got himself over, and if people want to believe it or not, they hate it when guys get themselves over. He got himself over with that YouTube show, and they hated it, and that's why they de-pushed that guy to fucking obscurity. Because Vince doesn't like when people that he doesn't want to get over or doesn't think he can get over by themselves.
He doesn't like entrepreneurs, it seems. Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, and I was just saying that it's a shame. I mean, the guy really can't catch a break. I hope that they utilize him correctly when he comes back, and I hope he can actually get on a bit of a roll without getting hurt. Because he's a talented guy, he deserves more, and he's gotten the shit end of the stick for way too long on that in that company. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. Like as far as Zack Ryder goes, like I found him to be a great wrestler, especially when CM Punk was the champion and things were kind of moving a certain direction. Especially when Daniel Bryan got his big push, whatever. Hovig, were you ever a fan of Zack Ryder, man? Not just from his TV show or his show on YouTube, but just his in-ring stuff. Okay, yeah, I see that. But
well, the problem with Zack Ryder is these days, I really think he has Dolph Ziggler syndrome. It's like he always gets pushed, and when he gets pushed, he gets fucking injured. And they're like, man, throw this guy back into the back of the fucking line. You know what I mean? Because that shit's happened to so many. That shit's happened to Dolph Ziggler like so many times, like which is why they gave up on push. It's like you ain't getting no damn world title, man. You get injured on every fucking day that ends on Y. It's like as soon as this guy's momentum was like so up high, he gets injured and. He's got to start from ground up. Like, I really honestly feel that he has Dolph Ziggler syndrome.
No, and the funny thing about it is, like, you bring that up, Nick, that was, like, one of the hypest moments in WWE in a long-ass time, because around the time, like you said, I want to say Zack Ryder wasn't he feuding with Dolph Ziggler at the time? Probably. He was going back for the United States title or whatever, and I think around that time, I think Zack Ryder got the Intercontinental, Zack Ryder had the United States, and Daniel Bryan had one of the main titles, and it was just like, at that point, it was like the fans were being listened to, because all the people that the fans wanted to have titles, they all had titles. And Zack Ryder was a part of that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off or whatever, but I was at the Raw in Philadelphia where CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Zack Ryder all came out to kick off Raw.
Oh yeah, and I love that episode.
They'd all won their they all were success. Like I think Bryan had won the night before the world title. Punk successfully defended his championship, I think, the night before. And then Ryder had also won, and they all kicked off Raw. And that was around the time I think Kofi was part of the tag champions. I think Beth Phoenix was the women's champion or Divas champion or whatever. It was a really good time in WWE, and it seemed like the future was really bright. And, I think Punk had a lot to do with that. I don't think people give him enough credit for he stuck up for people backstage and would call them out if they were doing stupid shit, and the company that is, and I think it's for 2011 2012 they were on that right path, and then something went awry. I don't know what it was, but
I think it was because I think maybe Vince McMahon or John Laurinaitis or whoever was in charge, because I don't even know if John Laurinaitis actually had that much power. People always say he does, but I feel like maybe that's just a storyline thing. I don't know. But I remember around this time, though, maybe they were like, you know what, dude, you got your big push, you got your big fucking moment. Leave us the fuck alone with your whole, big dudes get everything bullshit. Because even Triple H, and when they did that whole, the famous Philip Brooks versus Paul Levesque, angle, that whole promo, Triple H was like, dude, can you stop making excuses? How many fucking small guys have made it in this universe here, and you want
Yeah,
to
and he's
complain.
like Rey Mysterio, and he starts naming people. Man, I was just watching that promo the other day on YouTube.
Yeah, it was such a great fucking promo because it was so like honestly, it was more honest on Triple H's side. Like I thought CM Punk was like kind of being a crybaby to an extent, but then it led us to having such a great moment like this. And I gotta say, like Zack Ryder, this was his biggest prominent moment in wrestling ever. I think, like even more so than Long Island ICT.
No, I think his biggest moment was when he won the Intercontinental title last year at WrestleMania.
Ooh, and God, and then he got injured right after that, right?
I believe so.
Well, they stripped it from him. He lost the next night.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man, it sucks. And that's the thing. Like, I'm actually a really big fan of Mojo Rawley, and I love this picture of him. But I'm such a huge fan of this.
Give me
dude.
them titties. That's what he looks like. He's fucking saying, bro.
I would love to eat some titties with like fork and knife, just like hong hong hong. But anyway.
Right.
But the thing is, Mojo Rawley, dude, like this guy is so like I love when he gets a hot tag. I love when he comes in there and just beating motherfuckers down. I mean, he reminds me, and I've said this many times, like a younger Bill Goldberg or a Bill Goldberg who knows what the fuck he's doing. That's what he reminds me of. It's great. So I just hope that Mojo Rawley doesn't like leave this dude in the dust because Zack Ryder can definitely be the Marty Jannetty of the situation, just like how Marty Jannetty was with Shawn Michaels. I just feel like that's gonna happen one day. But moving on though. It is time to move on, and yeah, Daniel Bryan is a dad now. Papa Danielson. So,
it's kind of funny too because me and Trey was just talking about this situation, and you know what? I like to say this, and this is like a big rant about the Bella Twins and stuff like that. I just want to come out and just say I was really never too big on the Bella Twins. Like I was just never really there. And granted, I see that they're trying more ever than now, especially Nikki. Like she's actually trying in the in-ring competitor. But at least I feel Brie is a little bit more connected to Daniel Bryan in terms of like their relationship and it more seeming a little bit more real. So with this development, I'm actually like, you know what? Bravo, man. You did the thing. He was actually like Daniel Bryan was an indie guy. Like he would be like a nerd. Like it's like the supermodel picking the nerd over the big jock. And it's kind of actually a beautiful story when you actually think about it like that. But just for the Bella Twins and how they're in the company, and not like me, this is my outside looking in perspective. So I don't know what's going on behind stage, but just the whole nepotism thing and how they're related to John Laurinaitis, a stepdad, or whatever the case may be. It's just that whole nepotism thing that just kind of leads me the wrong way. It's like, but I believe their relationship is a little bit more real than, like I say, Nikki and John Cena's, because that just seems like you just went for the biggest guy in the company. And granted, like, Brie might have did the same thing. It's just like it's big coincidence that both of you guys married the biggest guys in the industry. But what Trey told me, Brie Bella had feelings for Daniel Bryan long before he was ever at the top of the WWE ladder.
Yeah.
So.
But like, I still find it as nepotism because I feel like there's a slight chance of like with Nikki Bella being married to John Cena. John Cena was like, "Oh, like your sister is some." It's like it's like link to link to link to link, and then somehow it got Daniel Bryan. Somehow it's like, holy shit, that makes perfect sense. I feel. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say something else, but go ahead, finish.
Well, like I don't really have much else to say. I'll go ahead and let you finish because I'm
what I was
going
gonna
to get into one thing.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is I think from what I remember is that Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, I mean, they did that whole storyline between the Bellas and Daniel Bryan, and it was supposed to be like Nikki Bella was supposed to like be the whole the side girl or the girlfriend to Daniel Bryan or whatever, and it ended up, and then Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan ended up having feelings for each other because they found out that they were like so into like saving the environment, and she's like a vegan, and this was a vegan. Yeah, there you go. And and he was a vegan at the time, blah blah blah. So they connected very like heavily at that time. But I mean, it's good for him. But as far as him wrestling with the contract expires, no.
Yeah, because that's the main thing I want to jump into right now too. Is like Daniel Bryan, he even brought this up on Talking Smack too, man. Like he does not want to wrestle for WWE anymore. At least that's what it feels like. Nick Leslie, I know you always follow this kind of stuff. Where do you think Daniel Bryan would go if he left WWE?
It'd be interesting to see if any other wrestling company would clear him to wrestle, because he says that he has outside of WWE doctors that have cleared him to compete. I don't know if it's the smartest. I love Bryan. He's one of my favorites of all time. I don't know if it's smart for him to go back to competing because of, he talked about him having the seizures or whatever from the concussions. And I think that especially how many he's had. I don't know how many off the top of my head, but you're prone to get more like very easily.
Yeah.
And I mean, he might go to Japan. I don't know if New Japan would clear him, but if he got doctor's clearance from there, I mean, he could go to Japan and wrestle. I mean, he would, he's wrestled over there before, so I mean, he would go back and do it again. But I don't know if that stiff style is something he'd want to do. But
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Like, that stiff style, like, that's all he has. Like, I can understand if he had a great finisher or a character where it's like, I'm a bad motherfucker. But, like, he's just, like, that guy who, like, does all his crazy moves, like, But go ahead.
My thing is, if he continues wrestling with the shape that the internal of his body is, I honestly feel like we're going to have another Chris Benoit situation.
Me too. By far. And that's the thing that really fucking sucks, man.
And that's exactly why WWE was like, slow your roll, mofo. You ain't getting that ring. Because, I mean, from what I remember, is that Chris Benoit, with all the fucking bumps that he's been taking on his head, which is the same shit Daniel Bryan does, that's one of the factors that fucked him up in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of many. But they did say when they scanned Benoit's brain, he had the brain of like an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing is, Daniel Bryan's wrestling is somewhat similar to Chris Benoit. Like from from a lot of the things that he does, it's like WWE's like, no, we're not going through this shit again, boy. If you want to do it on your own time, but not with us.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I know this is off topic, whatever, but I forgot to even talk about our own little chat on the YouTube chat. And I see over here Max is talking about fucking Mojo and all that bullshit. Leave my man alone. Mojo is the best damn thing on SmackDown right now, you son of a bitch. But anyways, back to the topic.
Yo, Nick, how about Mojo Rawley and the Drifter teaming up, yo?
Oh my god, dude. Like, just nerdgasm all over the damn place. I want Elias Sampson to be with anybody. Like, the Drifter needs to do something other than drift. I know that's his fucking name, but that boy got to go do something, man. Shit, Anthony. Come on.
Nope. Like I said, I mean, the most out of everything in wrestling right now that's going on, the most thing we're excited for is motherfucker walking around with a guitar. Like, it's just, no.
Right now it is, but soon, man. Dun. Dun 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 dun
Woo,
dun, dun 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 dun. Okay, that song kind of sucks, but it means damn, he's gonna break his chair, man.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Is that still the broken chair?
Oh no, that's a new one.
Oh, okay.
Very good. But no, Brock Lesnar's going to be coming back, and it's going to be a bunch of shit going on, Anthony, okay? I know you be talking shit. Ooh, it's going to do a 3-minute match. German
No, it's going to be longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, if he's not fighting Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, it's like if it is like more than 2 minutes, like it's gonna be a bunch of fucking overhead German suplexes and all that bullshit too. Like, I'm sick of the German suplexes. Like, we get it, dude. You suplex people. Fucking
Suplex City. He's trying to take Taz's gimmick.
Yeah, and I was about to say the same thing, dude. Or hey, just like what you do, the exploder. He's gonna use the exploder.
The exploder. Exploder. I whip it out like Shelton Benjamin, man. Hit him with an exploder.
Dude, Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin need to have a fucking feud. By the way, did you know that they actually? I know it's random, but they roomed together, and Shelton Benjamin taught a lot to Brock Lesnar.
As a matter of fact, Brock Lesnar was the reason why Shelton Benjamin got into the WWE.
Yeah, he brought him into OVW.
He's like, y'all motherfuckers are calling up my buddy. That's practically what happened.
Tag team in OVW too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin and fucking Brock Lesnar, man. That's a thing for your ass.
What a combo!
Yeah, man, that's fucking awesome. I want to see that now instead of like world's greatest tag team. It'd be like
shit.
The suplex machines.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Shelton Benjamin looks like he's about to do that Booker T promo and shit. Like,
I was about to say, Shelton Benjamin looks like a member of Harlem Heat right now.
No, he
with the bandana and everything.
Mm-hmm. What if they freaking had these two coming to WWE and they were like Harlem Heat Part 2 because they're racist asses?
That is fucking awesome, man. Yeah, I want to see this tag team now. That is badass. And
they would have Paul Heyman as the advocate, and then they'd have Booker T as like another advocate.
They had two managers, Teddy Long and Paul Heyman.
So when is Brock Lesnar supposed to start returning?
Okay, well apparently he's only. I know I'm making a big deal. You made a topic out of it. I just want a reason to talk about Brock Lesnar because he's only going to come back for one night, and it's the go home show to Great Balls of fucking goddamn fire.
Oh my.
Now, first off,
Well,
we talked about
there's
this.
more to that story though, because originally he was supposed to face Braun Strowman
Yeah.
at that event, but Strowman's hurt now. So now they're saying that Balor might face him.
Oh, come on. No, he's gonna.
What was that?
No.
No, it's funny, right? Because, like, here's the thing, dude. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. Finn Balor is gonna fucking hurt himself on the way to the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Well,
Brock Lesnar's like, really, bitch?
Well,
like, let alone fucking wrestle in the ring. Brock Lesnar's gonna break like that motherfucker like paper. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Dude, no, Finn Balor is always fucking injured, dude. I don't even know if he can make it. Like,
Yeah.
do they really think he's gonna be able to make it that far?
No,
God
I think people are giving Finn Balor a bit of a hard time with that shit. I mean, he was back in the ring the next week after that concussion. Luckily, it wasn't anything too serious, and it wasn't even his fault. It was Jinder, because Jinder can't throw a fucking
Yeah, it's
punch.
True.
But yeah, I mean, I think people are giving Balor too much of a hard time with the injury shit.
No, that's the thing. Like, every time he gets injured, it's not his fault. Like the last time why he was
Not
like,
my fault.
Not my fault. That's hiding right. I'm doing the wrong thing. No, the last time he was on the shelf is because of Seth Rollins, because he did that whole powerbomb turnbuckle powerbomb, whatever. But it's kind of funny, Nick. I like how like the image that she shows of him being fucking injured.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious. But yeah, it's never his fault. So yeah, we probably are giving him a hard time.
That's the thing, yeah, because one thing that I will not forgive him for is this guy over here, man. You injured my boy Steen. I could have seen Steen versus The Undertaker, dude. I could have seen that shit, Anthony, and Finn Balor took my dreams away from me.
And
now
that-
I'm facing him at SummerSlam.
you mean Seth Rollins?
Oh, shit, I forgot. Man, they both get injured a lot. Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, you're like, Finn Balor took that away from me. No, Seth
Oh, my
Rollins.
bad, my bad.
Poor Finn. Finn's getting the blame for everything now.
Really, come on, man. Don't be-
Finn took my job.
Yeah. Hashtag blame Finn Balor.
I know, like, actually, during Donald Trump's, like, press conference speech, he was like, you know, if Finn Balor hadn't injured that guy, you know, I would have been able to...
Yeah, Finn fired Kobe.
And now The Rock has been president.
Hey, Finn Balor injured Ember Moon.
Oh, this shit. Ooh, how did he injure her?
Oh, you stop.
I had to.
Damn. Dude, you watch a lot of pornography, don't you? Like, your mind is always there, bro. Goddamn. But,
Yeah, Finn retired The Undertaker. Fucking what Max said in the chat.
Oh, damn. No, Undertaker retired The Undertaker. Undertaker screwed Undertaker. No, but,
Shit, you ain't kidding.
yeah, man. No, but, I like how we just took this time to just talk shit about Finn Balor. Holy shit. But no, Brock Lesnar's coming back. Now, this is going to be the Booker thing or whatever. I'm just kind of curious on your predictions, not necessarily what would you do. And I'm going to start with you, Nick Luzzy. Like, what do you think Brock Lesnar is going to be doing on that show, and do you think he's going to stick around after Great Balls of Fury? Or Fire, whatever the fuck it's called.
Fury.
I mean, I think he'll probably do. I think Great Balls of Fire is in July. They'll probably want him to do SummerSlam too. He usually always does SummerSlam, so he'll probably stick around for that. He's going to be probably defending the title a few times. The plan. Now, I don't know how true this is or not, but the plan is eventually for him to lose it to Roman Reigns next year at Mania. But I don't think he's holding it for a full year. I think he's going to lose it in between then. Back. But I don't think he'll be losing at Great Balls of Fire. I think in his first, whoever he defends it against, whether Strowman's able to compete, which he might still be able to, or if it's Balor or if it's somebody else, he's going to retain because it's his first title defense, so he can't like lose right out the gate.
And I'm still hoping that Great Balls of Fire is actually just a prank.
Zack Ryder.
Oh, like Brock Lesnar versus Zack Ryder, you said?
No. Because Nick said that he goes, it's his first title defense. He won't be losing it out the gate. I was like, yeah, unless you're Zack Ryder.
Yeah, no shit, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
well, I mean, yeah, you got to remember that they think more of Brock Lesnar than
Yeah.
Zack Ryder.
yeah, of course. No, and that's the
This is
thing
true.
too. I just feel as though Brock Lesnar, man, like, granted, I don't like the fact that they're doing this in such a shitty way where he's just barely, like, he's barely wrestling, he's barely showing up. But it worked last time because every time he comes back, it's something fucking cool. Like, it's almost like when you hear that, dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah, here we go again. Yeah, Anthony likes doing that shit. I can tell. Yeah, a good old time.
Yeah, bro.
I'm doing it too. Every time you do it, I start doing it, man. It's fucking fun. I knocked out my head.
And I'm feel the same way about Brock. Like I have, you know, I don't really have a problem, but like it's kind of weird that the champion's not on TV or whatever. But every time he comes back, the guy is like one of the few guys that moves the needle that they have in the company. He's one of the few legitimate stars that people give a shit about whenever he's on TV and when he comes back. Doesn't matter what he's in. Like when he's off TV for a long time and then his music hits, that place goes fucking nuts.
Shit.
It's like the glass breaking from Stone Cold. It's like psh, dun, 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 dun. Like it's like that kind of.
Because you know what it is. It's like you know that when you see Brock Lesnar, shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
And you know, and fucking WWE smart about it too. Mm. This is why I love how they book Brock Lesnar. It's like we're only gonna bring him once in a while. I'm like, you know what? I kind of need that because you know we see Roman Reigns every fucking week. We see like Braun Strowman every fucking week. We see everybody that we get sick to death of every fucking week. And then you bring this one fucking guy once like every few months for like getting ready for the big 4 pay-per-views. And it's like the greatest fucking thing ever, you know? And no matter how good or how bad the matches can be, it's like just him showing up and knowing that he's going to probably break some motherfucker in half kind of brings warm feelings to my heart. You know what I mean?
To my heart. Yeah. No, and I completely agree.
The only thing that I have a problem with Brock really is that his matches are the same, and that's it. And
yeah,
I know it's just because I know he's capable of so much more because the dude's an athletic fucking freak.
Yeah.
And he's actually a pretty good worker. And I know he could do more than just German suplexes. And I think that's what kind of frustrates me with Lesnar is that they book him in the same match every single time. Yeah, I mean, he's like, people love him though. I mean, he's a legitimate star. He's one of the few legitimate stars they have in the company.
The way that I look at Brock Lesnar, I look at him as like Shao Kahn from fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, like if they
he's almost impossible to beat, and when you beat him, it's like shit. You better run.
I like how Anthony knows I'm getting excited that he brought up Mortal Kombat. I was like, oh, it's like if they and then when they came, and then like if Mortal Kombat was real, and then like Shao Kahn married me.
It's like don't you ever feel that way? It's like he's like the final boss battle.
Yeah, no, me too.
Like so, Brock Lesnar turns to the camera and shit says, "Oh, you suck."
No, I actually would have a little Paul Heyman come out and say that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar just staring into the camera as he's talking.
Yeah. My client says you suck.
And then Brock Lesnar just smirks and walks away.
God, man, no, I can't wait till he comes back, dude. I know it's only one show, but I mean, man, I really feel like
fuck it, man. Just bring the motherfucker back already. I just want to see him fuck someone up.
Dude, just fire the entire roster and just have the Brock Lesnar show. Like, you'll be able to afford him then.
I'd probably be into that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he gonna German suplex himself? Because that should be fun. That should be funny, bro. I buy my ticket. I don't care.
He'd be doing that Batista selling at that point.
Oh, that's fucked up. I gotta look that up really quick, dude. That Batista botch dude was some bad shit.
They're falling as shit.
Oh my god, Brock Lesnar suplexed himself.
Yeah, this
was
it.
Yeah, that shit, man.
Whoa. Hey, hold on, I gotta see that shit again. Look at Mark Henry, dude, running his ass, not trying to get over there.
Batista, Batista, I love you. Just stick to playing draft, dude.
That's so awful. That's so awful. Poor Batista, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's reason 5051 that he should just back.
What the fuck? That's amazing.
That's the shit, bro. That's what he's gonna be doing. The shit.
Whoa.
Oh god, that is hilarious.
We're acting stupid, but you know now it's time to actually review some shit. And this is mostly on you because I kind of missed some things. But yes, 205 Live. This is becoming one of the better things on wrestling. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
No, I'm getting ready. I'm getting fucking ready. And granted, I like kind of like not skimmed, but kind of like went over 205 Live. I didn't watch it as much as I watched NXT, which actually has some good matches. But 205 Live, from what I did see, because I actually thought it was Kalisto, but it's actually somebody like Lance or something versus TJ Perkins. That was pretty much what 205 Live opened up with. And the match seemed okay. It seemed cool and stuff like that. A lot of good spots. I know he did like this move off the turnbuckle, and it was almost like his knees was on top of TJ Perkins' shoulders. I can't exactly remember who won the match exactly because I think I have was doing something else at the time. But from what I did see, it was actually some interesting stuff like that. And I'm really curious what they're going to be doing with TJ Perkins. Like, I kind of agree with Trey now. It seems like they're really not doing anything with his heel run. It just seems like he's just pretty much just TJ Perkins, but darker, I guess. Yeah. So, like, the only thing that really changed is TJ Perkins was actually winning matches as a heel. And granted, like I said, I don't know if he won this match or not. But if he actually did, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he did, considering that the other guy came into the match was pretty much a no-name. So it's just like, yeah, it's probably just like a jobber match, and TJ Perkins will actually probably win. One thing I will say, the guy Lance or whatever, it looked like he had like some kind of fucking horse mask or some shit like that, but it was like a luchador or whatever. Oh, and it was like really weird. Like I said, I thought he was Kalisto, but I was just like, oh, somebody else. But, yeah.
Oh, Lince Dorado.
Yeah, Lince Dorado. That's how you pronounce it. It sounds like a fucking car from Chevrolet. Like,
I thought it was a motherfucker from GTA Vice City, like Lance Vance. Like
Lance Vance. No, like I said, like look at that shit. Like that mask is kind of cool, but it's got like the horse thing like there. It just look kind of weird. But I was just like, you know what, WWE, what is it with you guys and y'all luchadors right now?
Or foreign people in general.
Yeah, foreign people in general, which is kind of sad. Like, it's like, you know, this guy's probably gonna be gone like within a month because of like what happened to fucking Metalik, or I think that's his name. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Grand Metalik.
Yeah, Grand Metalik, which is fucking amazing. I fucking love that guy from the cruiserweight division, especially the cruiserweight classic tournament. But I haven't seen him on TV in a while. So.
But this being like, you know, because I mean, this was what, like not this last week's show, but like the one before it, on May 2nd. And when this happened, like, I mean, did they make any reference to this on the latest episode? Because that's the thing that's kind of strange. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's funny. Like, we don't talk about 205 live a lot around here.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, not even WWE gives a fuck about what happened last week. It's like their show would be bi-weekly if it had a choice.
No, that's the thing about 2-5 Live, and that's what actually makes it actually kind of good that they actually do just focus on the wrestling, which is kind of funny because we mentioned that about just regular Raw and SmackDown. Like maybe they need to just focus on the wrestling just itself for a while without referencing these storylines because apparently the writers can't fucking handle that right now. So it's just like 2-5 Live, if you don't want no storyline or like the basic minimum storyline, you know, pretty much what's going on with like Noam Dar, Alicia Fox, Rich Swann. I guess you got that there if you want it, but 2-5 Live is not that type of show. It's mostly just about the wrestling, and they built rivalries based on stuff that happened, like just little things. Like speaking of that, what is his name? Mustafa had a match with Drew Gulak. I think that's his fucking name, but Gulak, yeah, Drew Gulak. Thank you, Nick. But yeah, that was pretty much. And it's kind of funny because he had delivered a promo, pretty much just saying, "Yes, 2-5 Live needs to change. 2-5 Live needs to change." And this is actually kind of like a reference, like as you say, they don't reference stuff from last week, but they actually reference something that happened last week where it was actually Mufasa. What the fuck is his name? Mufasa
Ali.
Yeah, Mufasa Ali actually had fought Tony Nese. And I guess Drew was actually his manager, and he did like a moonsault on Drew, and that led to this match today. And I don't know what's the gimmick he's going for. I don't know if they're trying to make like a kind of a funny parody of the whole airline thing, but he comes up with a sign saying "No Flight Zone" and shit like that. I don't know if he's trying to make like a illegal, like, you know, Mexican joke or something. I don't know. I don't get it. Like maybe I just didn't get the joke, but I was just like, I guess.
See, look, this is what happens when you don't get the joke. You're hurting the man. He's in pain. Look at him. He's like, get my joke.
He came out with the megaphone and the sign. Like all he was missing was like a fucking like a head or something like shit. Everybody wants head. Oh, it's just like it reminded me of Al Snow a little bit. It just like it was just like it's kind of weird. But I was just like, hey, they're building up. Like they took that one promo that Drew did. Like I want to say that was like a month ago. Like in like. Most people probably even forgot that shit, but for like real wrestling fans, they probably remembered it. And it was just like, oh, this is where it's going. And he actually won, which is kind of weird because how he won is actually Mustafa Ali had did like a frog splash. He didn't even like do like a finisher move. He did a frog splash onto Drew, and he reversed it, and he turned that into a pinfall. And it was just like, okay. I was just like, oh, all right, but the match was actually okay too. It was actually pretty average. I'm really fucking like Mustafa though. Like, what is his name again?
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali. I'm really liking Mustafa Ali. Like that motherfucker is awesome. Like that move that he does through the turnbuckle, where he like dives through between the turnbuckles and then does the net breaker. That shit is beautiful. It's a thing of beauty.
No, I love it. And you know, Mustafa Ali, he's the guy with the weird costume on, right? He looks like a fucking
a Power Ranger and shit. Fucking Marvel villain.
Personally, dude, I'm not the biggest fan of that particular guy. I like Drew Gulak because I remember our Gulak, I think. Anyways,
I
that
think it's
particular guy.
Gulak. I think.
Gulak. Okay, and that guy I actually like because I don't know, and Nick, I'll go and ask you first. Like for me, he feels old school to me. Like if I ever wanted like the National Wrestling Alliance to come back and do, I think they're still around actually. But like if I wanted like that type of style, like that Harley Race type of champion, I think I would get that in Drew Gulak. Like, what do you think, Nick?
Drew is probably one of my favorite cruiserweights. I was familiar with. He was one of the few I was familiar with from the Indies before he came over in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Did he have the same name?
And
Or?
he's really really good. He's kind of like an all around kind of guy. He could do the cruiserweight style, but he could do kind of more like mat wrestling. He's a very diverse worker. And just real quick about 205 Live. From what I don't watch every week, but from what I see from 205 Live, I like it. But and this is what I said on my podcast when they first started the cruiserweight division. They should have, and they only started 205 Live, I think, because the cruiserweights weren't getting over on Raw, and they needed like their own show or whatever to help people understand, like I guess the cruiserweights or to get to know them. But my opinion was always that they should have made, just like WCW did back in the day, the first hour of Raw just strictly for the cruiserweights. So instead of doing something like 205 Live, make the 8 to 9 hour clock thing from Raw like just the cruiserweights. Have them cut promos, do their storylines, do their matches, and get people to know them, because they were just throwing these cruiserweights out there on Raw, and people didn't know who the fuck these people were, and they were getting no reaction. Yeah. You can't just expect these guys to get over and put them in a 6-man tag on Raw, and the people are gonna be like, oh yeah, I love these guys or whatever. It's like they know who these guys are, but it's like they don't really know like the characters. They don't know, it's. So I think 205 Live is really good. I just wish that, because I read that 205 Live's viewership is dropping on the network, which is not a good sign.
Damn.
So I mean, it's I'm glad that they have their own platform now to build their characters up and everything like that and start feuds. But it's like I just hope people are watching it.
The biggest thing for me too, watching 205 Live, is I know it's like every single week they have a situation where they'll have characters that they'll have like 3 different matches, 3 different feuds going on one week, and then the very next week they swap it. Like this last show that we had on 205 Live, I didn't see really anything to do with Neville or any of that storyline. They saved that for Raw. But meanwhile, like last week, we had a bunch of Rick Swan stuff and all this other things. Like I guess this week really belonged to Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick, their whole thing, and Mustafa Ali and Tony Nese and that type of stuff. But it's like I want to see Neville. Like the whole thing is letting me know that Neville's a badass. I want to see what's up with him and TJP. I want to see like I want the championship to be a big thing, and they didn't even bring it up.
I don't even think he was on the show, which is actually it's kind of weird how they've been treating the champions lately on just all the shows. It's just like you barely see them on the show. And granted, sometimes you want to give them a break. So you know what? Neville has been on TV a lot, so maybe they just want to give him a break this time. But we just like it. I guess we just get paranoid because we see how SmackDown treats the Usos. We see Brock Lesnar being a part-timer. You barely get to see that belt. You see, but also on SmackDown how they book like the United States title versus the main title. It's just like you think that the United States title would be the main title at this point. So it's just like when you do that, when you take people off TV that has the main belt, that has like this presence, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? But I will say this, that whole storyline between Rick Swan and Noam Dar is kind of really strange and weird and kind of just a waste of everybody's talents and time and Alicia Fox, but they did put on a fucking great ass match at the end of the show. And actually, Noam Dar actually pulled up the victory, which was fucking surprising. So it was just really interesting that they took that storyline that's not too great. They put these two pretty much in the ring at the main event of the show, and they put on the show. Like, Grant said how you feel about the storyline, but like I said, it's mostly about the wrestling. And these two motherfuckers, they put on a good job. So.
That's the thing, man. I think they did a great job. But the thing is like I always go back to the same thing. Wrestling is sports entertainment. WWE is sports entertainment. I want to be sports entertained. I don't care if it's a great wrestling match because honestly, I can go to NJPW. I can go to TNA right now because TNA is actually kind of kicking ass. I can go to Ring of Honor. Best wrestling is everywhere. There's so much good wrestling. It's just we don't watch it because we want to be sports entertained. So that's why I just don't like that. Now, Trey, I see that you're in here, man. Did you watch 205 Live at all, like in the last couple of weeks or nah?
Nah, I just been singing. Like we do this show, and then I have no interest in watching 205 Live. But the thing is, I hear great things about it. Matter of fact, Like I even checked out Bleacher Reports. I read Bleacher Report a lot, and it's like they were pretty much kind of in agreement with us about Raw and SmackDown. But 205 Live got like A+s all around, and that actually caught my interest a lot because normally when I read Bleacher Report, it's just kind of like I guess a B+, Z+ kind of thing. But all Bleacher Report was like A+, but then only one thing got a B+. I was like, okay, well maybe I do need to try to check out this show because it's like it seems better than what's going on the main roster.
In my honest opinion, I feel like 205 Live is the best show because even NXT has been kind of like falling off a little bit. But before you even get into that, I want to ask you, Anthony, from 2 weeks ago, that particular 205 Live episode, what would you give that, like out of 5?
I'll give it a solid 3 out of 5. It was actually just kind of like middle of the road. It was average. It was way better than fucking Raw and SmackDown this week. So it's just like, and like the last week prior. So it's just like people. If you really care about WWE and you really care about the product and you're just really just drained of just like what the fuck they're doing with these storylines and you're just like, you know what, enough is enough. Don't quite quit WWE because WWE Network is good to have considering that they have all the, archives and shit like that. And you get to watch stuff like 205 Live and NXT and stuff like that. So I would say just watch 205 Live if you do really want some good wrestling. But like Nick said, if you really just don't give a shit about, WWE, just go watch those other promotions and stuff like that.
Yeah, because, right here, and we're going to go to this week really quick on 205 Live, too. And this won't be as long because nothing really happened. Because, like I said, no Neville. And the show started off with this shit. I am so, man, they don't get the joke of, they don't get an idea of, telling a joke and then getting the character over and then, just letting it go. They got to push this shit, this agenda of making Jack Gallagher so United Kingdom. Or I don't know, whatever he's from. And they're pushing it so much that now it has to do with Austin Aries. This really cringe-worthy ass fucking storyline here, or this little promo. That was so bad, dude. I fucking hated that scene so much. And I love Jack Gallagher, and I love Austin Aries. This was one of the worst things I saw in weeks from any show, from any wrestling at all. Did you watch that at all, dude? Or?
No, this one I had no clue. I really did not tune in. But I will say this about Jack Gallagher. He really does need to go to NXT because they use him on 205 Live, but they're not really utilizing him as well as they could. But I think I mentioned this before on one of the Raw SmackDown shows, but Jack Gallagher had a really good fucking match. I want to say 2 weeks ago, with Tyler Bate, the UK Championship champion. And it was like good match in the sense of it wasn't even flips or stuff like that, but it was just good fucking old school technical wrestling, hole for hole, using each other's body weight against them and stuff like that. I want to see Jack Gallagher in more situations like that where his old school wrestling style, it gets to shine a little bit more because I guess he's almost like an outcast being on 205 Live because nobody else has similar style. And granted, you get a clash of styles, it creates interesting matches and stuff like that. But going against somebody else like his caliber in terms of technical wrestling was fucking fascinating to see. I would go recommend anybody that's just getting into wrestling and want to understand it from a technical sense rather than, the old flippy shit. Because I know Max, our resident boy Max really hates the flippy shit with no technique and no psychology. But just good old school technical wrestling, I really recommend that match. And like I said, it really shows that they're really underutilizing Jack on 205 Live, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree with you there. And that's one thing, talking about the flippy shit. Well, then you have a match like this that was a flippy shit and just submission stuff and everything. Tony Nese versus Mustafa Ali. This was great. I love this match. That's really all I got to say about it. It's just storyline-wise, there's nothing there. And then the same thing goes for, Akira Tozawa versus Brian Kendrick. They've educated me to not give a fuck about Brian Kendrick. They've told me many a time, this dude needs to cheat. This dude is not a real champion. And then they start doing this thing where it's like, oh no, he is a fucking legend. He is a veteran. He is the best. And I'm like, well, make up your mind. Is he the best or is he fucking not the best? I don't care. I know for sure that Akira Tozawa is going to win this match. I know it. You're trying to build this motherfucker up. It's just so obvious. It's like I'm just waiting for the next storyline. Every time I see these guys in the ring, I'm like, okay, when is this going to end? I want to see the progression of this. And I'm never going to see it, I don't think. It's just these guys are going to wrestle for another 2 months until they both do something that's worse, and then we're not going to get shit. And then, I said it already twice. I'm going to say it for a third time. Neville was not on the show. What the fuck? Why was he not on 205 Live? He's a Cruiserweight champion. I don't understand it. So, for that, I will definitely give this latest 205 Live a definite, 2 out of 5. But the week before that you were talking about, 4 out of 5 for me, for sure. I'm telling you, 205 Live is one of the best things going on, except for that particular episode this week was pretty bad, but I think it was filler. So that's just what I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
So moving on,
Mm,
big thing here, man, and
Team Yellow.
yeah, team piss, team urine.
Oh.
Man, I'm not digging NXT. Trey, did you watch NXT or?
I watched this week's episode. I don't know if we're gonna talk about last week's, but I watched this week's.
We'll just talk about this week's because we've been on for a bit. So, like Trey, what did you feel about this week's episode of NXT? Whatever the fuck it's called.
Way better than what we saw on Raw and SmackDown. Like,
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed this week's episode. Granted, like Aleister Black, man, like I'm still loving him, but it's just like I couldn't even take him too serious on NXT right now because like they're hinting him going to the main roster so much on social media. Hell, there's even this one picture on social media where like Neville was looking down on Aleister Black or whatever. Like, oh man, look at Aleister Black's future. You might be going against Neville. And I was like, okay. Like, even then he had that match on main event. I was like, okay, they're really trying to get on that main roster thing. But as for the match, though, the match was great. He went against Caesar Bononi. I don't know if he's really an NXT star or if he was just a indie star at the time there. But it was a great match to display Aleister Black. They're still trying to get his footing on there. But I really think he's main roster bound.
Now, the main thing with Aleister Black, and I was actually going to use this as a completely different subject, not even, whatever, but, like, he's the only thing that's going good about NXT right now that's even worth discussion, because in my opinion, dude, they're doing a Nakamura thing all the fuck over again, bro. Where it's like, oh, he has a cool theme song. People like his theme song. He has a cool entrance. He has a cool character. Let's just ride this motherfucker until he's dry. Like, I'm curious, Nick, before even moving on this, do you like Aleister Black at all, or not really?
Oh, I really like Aleister Black. I see a lot of upside to him. I know they're really high on him. I know Regal and Triple H are, which doesn't really mean much when it comes to being called up to the main roster. I mean, you can get called up, but if Vince doesn't like it, doesn't really mean shit.
Yeah.
But they're really high on him, and he's a talented dude. He's a really talented guy. I think that I don't want them to rush him to the main roster too much because when they tend to do that, the guys tend to get burned. So I want them to kind of take their time with him. I think there's a lot of people he could have really good matches with down at NXT, and I do really enjoy him, though. I see a lot of upside for Aleister Black.
Yeah, me too. And do you see, like, okay, like, I made this whole, I just, I was complaining my ass off saying that he's just like Nakamura. Like, do you see any of what I'm talking about there, Nick, with the whole Nakamura reference, or not really?
I mean, as far as the fans, like, loving him that much, or?
Just as far as, like, how he's being booked. Like, him just being perfect. Like, just whooping everyone's ass.
Yeah, I mean, they're building him up. I mean, I kind of get it. I do see where you're coming from, but I kind of get it from their point of view, I think, because they're still kind of... I think once he's going to show what he's really made of once he's in, like, his first real big, like, storyline / feud down there. Because the guy can go. I mean, he's a really good worker. He's not just one of these, like, generic looking big guys. Like, he can fucking work his ass off. So I think once I think you're right to make that assessment, but I think give it by like by summertime, I think they're gonna have a vision for him down there, and he's gonna have a storyline / feud and that everybody's gonna enjoy.
Yeah, you're probably right. Now, Anthony, I mean, how about you, man? Like, do you see that you're doing it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Nick made a very valid point, but, like, how do you feel about Aleister Black?
No, that's the thing. It's just like, let me say this all over and over again. Like, it's a squash match, and of course they're gonna build up their new talent. And like you said, Triple H and William Regal really like the guy, so of course they're gonna make him look strong. And that kick that he does, like how he ended this match too, that shit was fucking clean. Yeah, I was just like, holy shit. I was like, God damn, man. I was like, we got Oscar right here now. But like that kick is fucking sweet and stuff like that. I'm really not a big fan of his entrance music.
I love that song.
Yeah,
I love that song.
It's amazing. I can't agree with you on there. I love the entrance.
Yeah,
now me and
great,
Aaron made fun of that shit the first time we heard that song. That entrance, man. To me, it's cringy.
But dude, when he comes out, it makes you go like, "Holy shit! Here he comes! Like he's about to fuck somebody up, dude!" Like every song that people have, like that Cesaro, like I want to hear a song that's just like fucking metal, like just something like dun 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 dun. And I get that with Aleister Black.
I might be a little biased because the singer they have on that song is from a band I'm actually a pretty big fan of. They're like a hardcore band from New York, so I might be a little biased to that. I was already a fan of the band. So to see them actually doing a theme song on WWE for a wrestler I really do enjoy is kind of like a little bias there, but I really enjoy the song.
Yeah, man.
that's cool. But yeah, Aleister Black, man, I really just
I like I
love,
said,
like,
man, it's cool. Fuck you.
no, I really like the guy and stuff like that, and I agree with you guys. Like, if they do try to push him on the main roster too fast, yeah, they're gonna kill all his momentum. He's not gonna be the Aleister Black that they built up in NXT. Perfect example. They actually built these guys up really relatively small, but look what happened to the Wyatt family. Like Bray Wyatt is not even the same Bray Wyatt that he was in NXT, and it's fucking disappointing, and it pisses me off sometimes. So it's just like, yeah, granted you can go to the main roster, but your career is probably done. Like, I actually want him to stay. Like, with moves like that, I want him to stay on NXT. To be honest with you, I want him to rival with Drew McIntyre, because that's what I thought they was doing to do. Because it seems like they got like almost similar styles. They kind of came into the NXT at the same time almost, and they kind of like building up this ladder and stuff like that. Even Drew McIntyre getting a big win over what the fuck is his name? CM, I think is his name. But yeah, like last week. So yeah, CM Amos, which is fun. I love CM Amos. Like, that motherfucker's a really good heel. And for Drew McIntyre to actually get a win over him, I was just like, yeah, they build both of these guys up at the same time. So that's actually gonna be really fucking cool. So yeah, main roster, I'm kind of lukewarm about. But I will say this. It's really, really unfortunate that Ember Moon, right here at the, that was the match. But it's really unfortunate that Ember Moon will not be making it in NXT TakeOver Chicago. It's really fucking up for her. Yeah, she's actually injured. They said she's gonna probably be out for like some weeks or months. So I'm just
they said it's gonna be. Fortunately, it wasn't too serious. She's only gonna be out a month. But on the same token, like you said, she's not. Unfortunately, that means she's not going to be able to be in the takeover match, which sucks. Because I really do love Ember Moon, and I think there was a little bit of rumblings going on that she might have been like actually winning that match. So if she was, and they have to postpone that, then that kind of sucks for her. But she'll be right back in the mix of it. So it's kind of a double-sided coin. It's like, on one hand, it's good that she wasn't seriously hurt and is going to miss like a year or 6 months or whatever. But on the other hand, she's going to miss that takeover match, which sucks. But
she's gonna miss that takeover paycheck.
Which sucks in a sense. But this could be a good thing in disguise. Like, they keep making Asuka look strong. You get the built up Nikki Cross again. You get the built up Ruby Riott, and just Ruby Riott's promo during that match and stuff like that. It really seemed like, and I really hope they don't do this. I'm gonna be so pissed at NXT if they do this. If they drop the belt to Ruby Riott to build her up, because it seems like they really like Ruby Riott, and let's start a riot. Like, they seem like they really like her. So it'd be really salty if they drop. Don't get me wrong, I really like her. But I really hope that this match is more of the case of Ruby Riott could win it. They make it seem like she's going to win it, but they really don't pull the trigger because Nikki Cross gets in the way. And then they continue their whole rivalry, Nikki Cross versus Ruby Riott, which they was doing before they got in the whole the title picture. And Asuka, she fights Ember Moon 101. They drop it to Ember Moon. Asuka goes up to the main roster. But it really scares me when they do certain promos to show you that they really like somebody, kind of like what they did with Roderick Strong, what we get to later on. But it's just like, I really hope I don't drop it to Ruby Riott. I really don't.
Because Nikki Cross is doing this thing. Like, for one, Sandy needs gold. I think at this point right now, Sandy is at a point where they're just in a standstill. And I like how that referee looks, but he's like, oh, I want to fuck them too. But I know. But yeah, man, I just feel like she's tailor made for this shit, man. Like, she just, every time she comes out, like, she has that aura about her. And same thing with Ruby Riott. I don't know much about Ruby Riott, dude, but like, she is just a bad looking.
No, it's cool. It's like, and she had like this promo. Like, don't get me wrong, the promo she had was fucking cool. Like, she was like every tattoo on. She's almost in a way like a female CM Punk in a way.
Yeah, God damn it, I was gonna say the same thing.
It's almost really similar to that. Like how she was delivering her promo. She was like, each tattoo has a story. Pretty much every time I get hit in the ring, it's like I feels like I'm alive. Nobody's ever seen nothing like Ruby Riott. Like, I fucking love, like, when Ember Moon gets her chance to shine in the light. I definitely want Ember Moon to get back in the title picture. Ruby Riott versus Ember Moon. Fuck yes, I would love to see that. It really sucks that Nikki Cross gets out of the whole. Yeah, for real. That Nikki Cross is kind of out of the loop because Nikki Cross, and I don't know what they're doing with her because Nikki Cross's promo on NXT really was similar to like some kind of Ultimate Warrior shit, where he actually, to the point where they actually got in the camera and you could barely hear. She was just like, "Yes, wait." She was like, "Where's Ruby? Where's Ruby? Where's Ruby?" And she was like really unprofessional, which is like, I guess it makes sense to her character because she's this lunatic fringe and stuff like that, kind of tapping into her fucking Dean Ambrose and shit. Yeah. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I really like in the ring. I love Nikki Cross as a gimmick. I love the crazy shit. I love her screaming and be like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" Promo wise, when you try to put that in a promo, it really didn't work for me. And I don't know. What do y'all think?
No, I mean, I'll let somebody else go. Nick, how about you, man?
With Ruby Riott, I do agree. I really do like Ruby Riott. I wasn't too familiar with her from her work before, but she is really good. And I do enjoy her promos. I also agree with Nikki Cross stuff. Her promos are kind of but I mean, I think there's potential there. If they rework how she does them, I think she could cut a good promo. But she's really good in the ring as well. Another one I wasn't really familiar with. But I don't think anybody needs to worry. The plan is still for Asuka to drop at the Ember Moon. That has not changed. It's just kind of delayed things a little bit.
Thank God.
But the plan is for Asuka to drop the Ember Moon, and then Asuka will eventually get called up to the main roster a short time after that. But that is the plan. Is that and then Ember Moon's gonna get her run down there, and then but yeah. So I mean, it's I enjoy the women down in NXT. I think that they a lot of people worried when they called up the previous batch that they were gonna be struggling for talent, but they got a women down there, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, man. I mean, all these girls are just like, they all have an aura about them. Like, I know that all these girls are important as shit, and it's nice to see because once upon a time, I didn't give a fuck. So, it's just amazing, man. Like,
and going down the line and stuff like that, before we actually get to the DIY match and stuff like that, because I can't remember exactly who they fought as a tag team. I know they was like ex-NFL superstars. It was actually not too bad match, and for jobbers, they actually put on a good show. So that was actually kind of cool.
Wait, Tino Sabatelli and Reddick Moss?
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, and they got the look, too. Those motherfuckers are ripped. I'm like, damn, y'all motherfuckers look like Hercules and shit. Like,
is this like veins out of fucking Tommaso Ciampa's fucking head? Like, Jesus Christ.
Like, they got the look. So, like, I would totally like to see them get built up as a tag team and stuff like that after, Heavy Machinery get their way, after DIY gets called up, whatever. Because they got the look. I love that tag team. They seem really fucking cool.
I just feel like this motherfucker should be on Injustice 2 as Brainiac DLC. Like, this motherfucker is just... God damn. Like, that's a fucking dome for your ass. Like...
He's using his brain powers. But before that, they had, like, this whole... video package of this whole Volunteer Dream or some shit like that, and I was thinking the whole time they were showing, baby. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's Velvet Scar, and it's like really weird because isn't he from TNA or she or he?
But it's Velvet Sky, not Star, you motherfucker.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, but I was just like, wait a minute, isn't that TNA guy or something like that? And that's
girl.
So it's a girl. Okay, why did it look like a dude? Like, I got so confused. I was just, dude, the only thing I was thinking, I was just like, okay, is somebody, like a wrestler, going to have, like, a Prince gimmick or something? Like, are they going to come out to, like, Diamonds and Pearls? Like, it was just really weird. I didn't know what was happening.
Wait, maybe I'm the dumbass. I could have sworn there was a girl in the promo.
I thought it was a dude. It looked like a dude was dancing. That's why I was just like, what's going on? It's like Prince debuting. It was like all this purple and shit like that. If it is that case, like somebody from TNA, because that's what I was thinking. I was just like, why does that sound familiar to me? That sounds like a TNA wrestler, and they sound like they're coming up because it wouldn't make a lot of sense. I mean, fucking NXT right now, the main champion is Bobby Roode. You got Austin Aries in 205 Live, so WWE is getting a lot of old school TNA talent. AJ's fucking Styles, so it's just like it would make sense to get a little bit more of all that talent and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. And speaking of talent that kind of just debuted. They didn't have a match, but they kind of like announced it for next week, which I'm actually really looking for. I'm really liking the guy, but like I said, CN is going against Cassius Ohno, man. I'm really liking Cassius Ohno, man. I'm really liking the dude. I know you really don't like it because he fucking, and I agree with you, him coming up with a fucking jersey and shit like that. Like you said, that's not manly, that's hot. Like he's wrestling in his jersey.
I feel like his bigger boyfriend fucked him, and now he's wearing his boyfriend's shirt while he's going to make breakfast and shit. Like,
Oh man, but I really like the dude. Like I like the whole oh no, like I like his entrance music and stuff like that. I just like the character. I really see really bright things for Cassius Ohno. Although I think like his whole thing is a finisher, like his whole thing, and I think that's a whole nother tangent that I think people use this elbow move a little bit too much.
Oh yeah.
But him when he does it is fucking like crazy. Especially a lot of people have this whole like this is a finishing move too because doesn't Austin Aries have the whole discus
Wade
elbow
Barrett.
as well? Yeah, Wade Barrett had that, but they all did it differently in a sense, and he does it kind of like just generic, but it still fits his character and it's still cool, but he does it way too much in a match, and it doesn't seem like a finisher to me. It seems more like a signature or just like one of those moves that he does. It's kind of like instead of it being like Randy Orton's RKO, it'd be more compared to Randy Orton when he does that fireman carry.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, like that snap power slam or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Like or like the DDT. And like it does. Like I said, it doesn't seem like a finisher to me. It seems like a signature.
It's like I feel like I have to do more taunts to unlock it in
Yeah.
the match. Like,
Exactly. So that's the only thing I would say about Cassius Ohno. And then I think we got the whole Roderick Strong promo again. Like they seem like they really like Roderick Strong. I really hope that he goes.
Man, they finally had
Wait,
a
what?
match. I think you're watching the Raw NXT because over here, dude, like they had their match finally. It wasn't even a promo.
Oh no, they did. No,
it was
a small one.
Roger Strong versus Hideo Itami.
Okay, no, I thought they had like a small because then they had like a Hideo Kojima. Oh, the fuck is his name again? God damn it.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
Hideo
Itami.
Tommy. Didn't they have like a promo too? Because I think they were showing both to both. They were showing like what he could do, and stuff like that. I think they should show like really small promos. But like you said, they finally did have their match and stuff like that. Pretty much, what's the name is like the Japanese CM Punk, or CM Punk stole his gimmick because he was just like his promo. He was just like, "How do you feel about this? I'm gonna put him to sleep." I'm just like, okay, Japanese CM Punk. But as we all know, he won the what the fuck? I'm blanking on
Hideo.
Hideo. Hideo actually had one against
You call him
Roderick
Kenta
Strong.
if you want. That was his name before.
Kenta.
Oh, Kenta. You know what? I might actually start calling him Kenta just to remember that better. But it's really interesting how WWE is really, like you said, like how we said before with 2-5 Live, they're really big on foreigners right now. Like they're the biggest, like almost the biggest people in the company. Look at like NXT, like how a Japanese competitor, like Asuka, the most technically dominated superstar in the whole fucking company, is female, also Japanese. And it's just like, you know, you got another one with like Shinsuke Nakamura going at Backlash. He's like the face of Backlash. Then you got another one in Kenta in NXT. Then it's just like, this is a crazy to me. Like, it's so fucking crazy that this was the same company that really didn't have like these competitors get too far. Like I said, I always go back to the example I bring up with Yoshitatsu. He was always mid-carder, but now you having all these Japanese competitors be like high tier now, almost going for the main belts, and it's so fucking refreshing. I love this shit. It really sucks for Roderick Strong though, because it seemed like they was really building him up. I don't know what he's gonna do next. He still seems kind of generic to me, but he did put on a good match against Kenta on this time around. Like that, he actually showed a little bit more personality in the ring, and I was just like, okay, you're giving me something. And it was kind of meh. Like at first, the match had like a really weird tempo, but then it actually kind of picked up. And then, like I said, Kenta actually, pulled away with the victory, which we kind of already knew. We already knew in NXT TakeOver Chicago it was going to be Bobby Roode versus what's the name? Like come on now.
Obvious. So, and one thing too is I look over here in the chat and everything. My boy, Lil Ragnarok, Looney Tune, Max. He's saying Roderick Strong versus Hideo Itami was a great match, and yeah, dude, like this was one of the best matches I've seen in NXT for a good little bit here. Nothing better than last Takeover. That Takeover was fucking incredible. But it's finally to see a good match for free. I'm so sick of like just waiting for Takeover for the good matches. I'm like, no, come on, dude. NXT used to be good all the time. Like, let's get back to that. And I think this one was it. But go ahead.
And the shitty week of wrestling that we had, like Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong is what we needed.
Yeah,
like,
that's the shit. If I wasn't doing a Ringside Hangout, like that match would have brought me back to watch wrestling. It would give me a reason to tune in next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Because that match was just too goddamn amazing. I was on my feet the whole time. I got hyped. I was just like, God damn, man. Like, and granted, Anthony, I guess when I think about it, like, I should have been on your side with the whole, like, it was kind of predictable that was going to happen, especially when, Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode had that promo. But me, I was so into the match that I didn't do the prediction thing. I was just like, holy shit, this match is great. I don't know who's gonna win, But you have a point there. If we think about future wise, I guess I was just so loving the match that like I didn't care who won.
But that's a good thing, Trey. That's what a wrestling match is supposed to do. It's supposed to actually take us out of the whole kayfabe and actually be like, put on a good fucking product. Like that's what it's supposed to do. So in that sense, no, that's not a bad thing and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to Bobby Roode and stuff like that. I really hope that match is actually going to be really great. We already know that match is probably going to be somewhat better than fucking Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler, which kind of really disappoints me.
Yeah,
So
and we'll get on that right now because I'm about to. Man, we're gonna end this shit with some crazy.
Before you do that, I did want to mention because I almost forgot. They had this whole promo between what is his name? Elric had came out with his Arthurs of Pain and stuff like that. They delivered a promo against DIY. I guess that's going to be happening and stuff like that. I really liked the promo because it was just like, oh, you really want to put them in a match against Arthurs of Pain? You actually give him another opportunity? He was like, yeah, I'm going to. William Regal was just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. He was like, okay, the blood is going to be on your hands there when we decimate the fuck out of him. So I'm like, damn, like Elric is fucking awesome. I love that manager.
No, he's great. He's always been great. And one big thing too is after the show, this is a huge thing because I hate when Michael Cole's like the WWE Network and the WWE.com and WWE app. We finally got it. Michael Cole let us know 2 years ahead of time to watch this because fucking Roderick Strong got attacked by Sanity. It was great. This was all apparently on WWE.com and the WWE app and all that bullshit. So it's like, yeah, you didn't get this on the WWE Network. I'm sick of saying the word WWE. Holy shit. But yeah, man. So this storyline's going on, and I could have sworn that we just dealt with the storyline with Ty Dillinger and everything too. He was part of it. Roderick Strong was his tag team partner in the whole six-man match. So I thought that was a little stupid. Like,
yeah, I guess they gotta have something to do. Sanity's looking for something to do, and you could look at this as the heels being butthurt. They like, oh yeah, Ty Dillinger, he's on the main roster, we can't really touch him. But Roderick Strong, because I think they had attacked him backstage. He was actually out of the match at one of the takeovers, and that's how they had to replace him with Cassius Ohno. Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, they've been kind of fucking with Roderick Strong. He's kind of like just like the little kid. It's kind of like these bullies at the playground, and Roderick Strong is just that little kid that's just always getting fucked with.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this could go somewhere. Like I said, and plus it's giving Roderick Strong something to do because I was just like, I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. And this actually happened on air or off air because from what I've seen, it was like it happened off air because I don't remember seeing this in the actual show.
Yeah, no, it's off air. It's on WWE.com and on the app and everything.
I hate when they do that. It's really weird.
See, I hate when they do that too, but it's like I also hate when I had to go download all this extra shit. I never get any exclusive anything. And this, he even says it right here in the bottom, exclusive. Like, thank you so much because I was gonna delete this shit. Now I'm like, hey, you know what else is gonna happen next week? I don't want to miss out next time because I totally missed out on this. So what the fuck's gonna happen? But yeah, I'm gonna go and start with Trey, then Nick, and then you, and then me. So you, Trey. What would you give NXT? 0 out of 5? What is it?
Man, I'm so glad we're doing a show today, so it won't be zeros around the board. Because NXT gets a 4 out of 5 from me. This week, NXT was just really great. I don't know if it's just because like I take my breaks from NXT as well. Something I need to start doing with the main roster. But it's like every time I come back to NXT, I'm reminded, man, this is why I love wrestling so much. Like a WWE product like NXT always reminds me why I love wrestling. That Hideo Itami Roger Strong match was just just oh my god, just amazing. As for the other matches, like I said, Aleister Black, like he's pretty much main roster bound. From what I'm seeing, I'm hoping that's not the case because I don't want to be another Adam Rose situation. Adam Rose is the biggest example I always think of in a situation with somebody who should have stayed at NXT, but they moved to the main roster way too fast. I don't want the same for Aleister Black. DOY and that tag team match was actually pretty cool as well. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see how Authors of Pain do in the ladder match because apparently that's the match that got announced. That ladder match, I can't wait to see what that's going to be about. So yeah, 4 out of 5, man. I enjoyed NXT so much more than this week of Raw and SmackDown.
Now, Mr. Luzzy, what would you give NXT, man? Or did you actually watch it this last week, man?
I saw the Roger Strong and Hideo Itami match, and I saw the Aleister Black stuff. I didn't see the whole show, but from what people are saying, it was good. I mean, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 just on what I saw. But I hear people are saying a lot of great things. I've been a Roger Strong fan for about 13 years now.
Oh,
so I mean, Roger Strong's amazing to me. I grew up like watching him in Ring of Honor pretty much. Essentially, Ring of Honor was like used to put on shows in Philly like 30 minutes from where I live. So I saw him very early on. He's been doing this since he was like 17. and he's grown a lot. I love those video promos they've been doing. Apparently, he's been getting a lot bigger responses at the live events and stuff after the promos because these people are getting to know who he actually is.
Yeah,
I
the
think that's a
trailer park
great thing to
thing.
give this guy some depth. He's not just a guy that's a good worker. He's he's actually has like some some development to him. But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought him and Tommy put on a great match. And yeah, NXT. I don't always watch it every week, but when I do, it like Trey said, it reminds me why I like wrestling. So.
Yeah, and I love the videos too that they're putting up for Roderick Strong, showing him. It was almost like a confidential documentary thing that they were doing, like almost like the old days, where he's talking about his mom and that she was on drugs and then she got out of it, and then just all the shit he's gone through, and then it's pretty crazy to see like this big thing. Like I actually give a fuck now. Plus, too, I really wish he kept this theme song from Ring of Honor because I love that shit. Like, and then there was a firefight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love that shit, but they don't do it anymore, so that sucks. Anthony.
I would give it a good 4 out of 5. And granted, I'm not as highly on that last match as you guys are. It was okay and stuff like that, and so, like it just took a little bit while to actually pick up and get for me to get into personally. But it was actually near the ending. It was like, okay, that was actually nice. It was very, very enjoyable. The rest of the other show was kind of just middle of the road, just kind of like, okay, all right. I'm really looking forward to NXT TakeOver Chicago. I think that's in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's actually going to be really fucking cool. It really sucks that Ember Moon is out of action. It really sucks when you hear that shit. Like, you got all these storylines playing, like you said earlier, with the whole Braun Strowman thing, how he was supposed to fight Brock Lesnar. Now they got to postpone that. Then the same thing happened to Ember Moon. It really sucks.
It sucks, but I mean, I think it'll be nice to get a break from Ember Moon and see what Asuka does with these other girls, and maybe gives people a chance to be more over because Ember Moon and Asuka, man, they got that shit monopolized. Like no one's better than those two. So it's
true.
But yeah, for me, I would give this show a definite 3 out of 5. I think it's a very, very average show. I think what really helped it a lot was that main event match with Hideo Itami and Roderick Strong. And honestly, I really hate that it's Hideo Itami won because once again, it's that fucking thing where you do what the fans want so much that it ends up not making sense. I hate to do it, Trey. I know you always tell me just watch it to be entertained. Don't try to think about the future. But like, dude, as a writer, and just as a wrestling, what do you call that? Like a wrestling purist. What has Hideo Itami done to get this? He's been gone for how long? I think we all forgot that he was even on the fucking roster. He just showed up and it was like, oh, by the way, it's like Finn Balor. He's so great. You guys like him? Cool. He's fucking gonna be champion already. He's like, fuck you, dude. Like, put some work in there. God damn it. But anyways, so yeah, definitely 3 out of 5 for me. But now the next thing, and I might make some enemies out of this, possibly. I can't stand Nakamura, Anthony. I hate this man. And I always talk about how much I can't stand him. And yeah, and Hovig, I know you're quiet with the last ones. Maybe you can be you can be with me here, man, because I know you feel the same way I do.
In regards to
and the way they're Nakamura and the way that they're fucking booking him, because today's Be the Booker is what to do with Nakamura. I mean, it's just that's it. Nakamura, something has to be done, man. It's the writers. They don't know what to do. I'm going to go and start off with me. What I would do, send his ass back to NXT and just have him feud with fucking Hideo Itami when he gets the NXT title, and then have that be the first ever NXT match to start a WrestleMania next year. I just feel like build that, or have it start off SummerSlam, and have Nakamura be the only guy who stays with NXT forever, and he's like the best NXT wrestler of all time. He's not made for WWE. I don't know who wants to go, but does anyone else agree with me with Nakamura?
I'll go. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what I want. Doing this next match is coming up, right? Dolph Ziggler defeats Shinsuke Nakamura, right?
Yeah.
And then every match afterwards, he just keeps losing. And so much that he goes to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then I get what I want. And Shinsuke Nakamura can have these amazing matches that I'm always seeing on New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I want Nakamura to actually stay around the WWE because I actually, like I said, look at the company's complexion now, and I say that in an ironic sense considering that they are Japanese American. But it's like interesting that, like I said, most of these Japanese Americans are coming over from Japan and actually being main event stars, something that you've never seen in this company yet. And it's like, granted, the opinion of how they do it is just kind of like, man, whatever. Especially considering that most of them can't really speak English too well. Like, I mean, Asuka can't speak English too well. Nakamura, Shinsuke can't speak English too well, and that kind of goes into WWE being a good competitor. Well, not being a good competitor, but being a good WWE performer, because you got to be able to talk on the mic in order to sell yourself. So, and that's why they, paired him up with Dolph Ziggler. He's got to do all the work, and that really sucks for him. But I really think that they should do these vignettes where Ziggler is like the main attention, but he's talking about Nakamura. But in a sense, maybe bring up the whole fact that, Japanese American, don't make it a racist thing, but I'm noticing that this is happening too. And Nakamura, you're not going to come on SmackDown my house and actually trying to take over this. Kind of put it a little bit more on Dolph Ziggler. Let Dolph Ziggler do his thing, or talk about just how he's frustrated with the company. Make it personal way. Now make it where he's not, getting on everybody else or something like that. And you probably could have brought Shane McMahon out, very this erase everything. If we can go backwards before this whole backlash thing and set up the backlash promo, have Dolph Ziggler come out, express his concerns, because he's probably really fucking angry of what his position is in the company. Dolph Ziggler, he's never fucking silent. He actually give him a chance to vent those frustrations on TV, make that shit a promo, and actually Shane would have came out and be like, okay, you want to fucking run your mouth? You want to prove that you can actually get up to the main event and stuff like that? Actually beat one of our newest stars, Nakamura. And don't even have him talk. Don't have Nakamura do that talk. Still have him practice his English backstage or whatever, stuff like that. But have Nakamura just come out and just be like that silent badass. Nakamura really doesn't know how to speak English too well. Just be that silent badass. The fans get their whole interest thing. They get the whole gyrating and shit like that. And just have him come out and beat the fuck out of Dolph Ziggler. And make it seem and Dolph Ziggler could be almost like this victimized heel in a sense. Try to flip it, not teenish, but almost be like a heel in a sense where he's almost making himself look like the victim, because it's just oh yeah, these Japanese stars are coming over, they're always getting big, you're always going to push them more before you push me or whatever. But Dolph Ziggler is still trying to, he still can't get the upper win on Nakamura and stuff like that on these matches, and actually have it where Dolph Ziggler actually wins against Nakamura at Backlash. And Nakamura, granted, you're supposed to build him up first, but give him it'd be smart, because you're not rushing Nakamura's success. You're giving it a moderate pace so he can go against other superstars. Maybe get Nakamura rival with Mojo Rawley just to get that dynamic on. Maybe have Nakamura rivalry with what the fuck is his name? Ty Dillinger. Isn't Ty Dillinger on SmackDown?
Yeah,
he's on SmackDown.
Yeah. Have him rivalry with Ty Dillinger, or wrestle some of the other things so we can get a little bit of variety too. For the wrestling fans, I don't know. Would you do it schedule wise? SummerSlam, Mojo Rawley, rivalry with Mojo Rawley for a while, and then probably around SummerSlam time, have him rivalry with Ty Dillinger or something like that. Actually have it a mid card match and stuff like that, so they can actually be. It shows them that they're elevated and stuff like that. But you give a moderate time where he's actually can actually steadily rise up the company along with his English. And I'm not making a joke about that, but I'm just saying until his English gets a little bit better, then rise with the company. And then again, it also puts it in a WWE in a good position, because they don't have to take such a big risk. Because granted, if this is going the way that they think they're going, they want to see at this upcoming WrestleMania, they want to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. They're setting that up. And if that's the case, when he gets up there and his English is still not right, that shit is gonna fucking fail. It's gonna fucking bomb hard. So it's like I said, if you make it moderate and don't push him and don't rush him to make these talks, and in about time he gets to WrestleMania, maybe you can have his English a little bit better, or maybe postpone it a little bit better so you can build up Nakamura maybe as a start. Maybe WWE is gonna have to give up that big dream of getting Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Maybe you will have to do it at this WrestleMania. Maybe you have to do it at the following year SummerSlam or something like that. Maybe they're gonna, because they always look at the big picture, which is good about WWE, but they don't look at it in the sense that it's sometimes you got to sacrifice these grand themes for the betterment of an individual, for the betterment of this company, for the betterment of building these stars. So it's just like I said, if you make him lose at Backlash and you make him lose certain matches as a chess piece, you won't take such a big risk if his English never gets better, because it's he's not a big star. So when you remove him and take him, if he does go back to New Japan Pro, the company won't feel like a big fucking void because you replaced Nakamura. He was a big star. You rushed him, and now you fucking just took him away because he couldn't speak English. So it's just like
And
you
I don't even
keep
think
him
it's just that
somewhere
either.
there. Yeah.
I mean, I totally see that working, like what you said, and like, yeah, dude, like, anything will be good at this point for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and throw us at Nick Luzzy really quick. Like, Luzzy, I mean, for one, do you think there's a problem with the whole Nakamura build, or do you feel like I'm just bitching?
No, they're definitely doing it Nakamura thing wrong. I love Nakamura. I think he could be a big star, but I think that you got to book the guy right. He's not just going to be a star on his own. You got to just, use him correctly. And I don't think on SmackDown they're using him correctly. And I don't think the person they should be putting him with is Dolph Ziggler. But I mean, hopefully, like, he gets over. He's good enough to where he can get over with the people Nakamura is, and hopefully they can, do a rebound feud that's better than this one, because the way they're booking him now with the comedy stuff is just it's not really working for me.
Yeah, man, I cannot stand it. And what would you do in like just to save this from getting worse? Like, if you were booking right now, let's just go back in time a little bit, pretend the Dolph Ziggler thing didn't happen. What would you do with Nakamura?
For me, I would have him like going after like a mid. The saying is he'd be going after a mid card title right now. To me, if that was the case, I would have saved him a little bit maybe, and maybe had him feud with like Kevin Owens or something like that, and maybe they could put on a really because I think AJ should be in the main event picture. I don't even think he should be with the United States title right now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's I think that that they should have him with a mid card feud. I think that like for the title, like I don't think he should be wasting away with Ziggler. And Ziggler's talented, but Ziggler's just his character's not. He's not in a good spot right now. He's kind of like I don't want to say just like a kill, like a buzz kill, but I mean that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, every time he's on screen, it's like it's that shit again. God damn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it fucking sucks. Yeah, man, but I totally agree. Him versus Kevin Owens would be great because Kevin Owens, him being so charismatic and so funny, I think it could work perfectly. Hovig, how about you, man? What would you do with Nakamura?
One of the first things that I would do is actually have him do a match that's televised. Because I think that's one of the downfalls about this whole feud between him and Ziggler is just that they have matches, but they're dark matches. It's like, fucking put it televised already. Like, stop making it as though as his debut is going to be on fucking Backlash, which is exactly what the fuck is going on. Like, I thought that was the dumbest idea ever. The motherfucker's been here for like almost 2 months already. Not once you have him televised a fucking match with him. One of the big things is, just finally have him start having a match with Ziggler, because the storyline, it would be fine as long as they had matches. I wouldn't want him to be pushed straight up into the fucking main event picture. Like, slowly build him, And as for the whole AJ Styles thing, I'm actually kind of happy that he's in the United States Championship kind of mid-card right now, because I want them to save him for when they eventually put him against Nakamura at WrestleMania next year, which would be like a great thing, but hopefully they don't fuck that up too. But for right now, I would totally keep Nakamura with Ziggler for right now. Just let them finish this shit out. And hopefully I would put him in the mid-card as well, like, try to go towards the what do you call it, the United States Championship as well, only because they would actually start having him eventually collide with AJ Styles, and that would, eventually have those two, start the whole storyline between each other.
Yeah, and I think even if they went into brawls or even in tag team matches, they do those tag team matches to like bring the field along, even though there's like no one gives a fuck. But it's like those matches would be great, and I would love to see them fight inside the tag team matches just to make those good, because Nakamura is good because of his in-ring skill, not because of his fucking charisma or because of a theme song. Like, Jesus Christ with the theme song.
Yeah, and that's the biggest like insult that they're doing to Nakamura. Like, you have confidence enough in him to make him like the big face of a fucking pay-per-view Backlash, and you don't even have him on television. It's just like, what the fuck? Like you said, the biggest reason why fans love him is because his in-ring capabilities. You still have yet to show that shit. You still have to show him in the ring, and you're like, that's the thing. His strength is not promos. Like, they're putting him in a position where he has to do promos against a promo guy, and the thing that he's good at, you don't even show. So it's just like, like, of course, like somebody like Nick, especially if you're coming on the outside looking in, you've never seen NXT and you're just watching SmackDown. Of course, you wouldn't like. Why is Nakamura such a big deal? Like, I haven't even seen him wrestle yet.
Yeah,
they're really treating him like he's a novelty. Like, you know, the whole thing with Brock Lesnar, The Rock, and Stone Cold and everybody else is like they're novelty kind of things. Shinsuke Nakamura has not had one match on SmackDown. Everything's been house show, dark show, and they're already treating him like he's a novelty. He's like, come on, he has not had one match on the main roster. Like, he's an actual performer right now. Like, don't treat him like a novelty. Be a performer.
I don't mean to cut you guys off or anything, but I actually got to get going real quick. Because I actually stayed on longer than I thought I was going to stay on. I didn't realize it was 10:30 already. But thank you guys for having me on though and talking about this shit. It's I really had a good time.
No problem.
Yeah, and I was really happy to have you on too, man. And I'll make sure to plug your stuff at the end of the show too, because the thing is, I'll just do it now because Cheap Pop Inc. Man, I love this stuff. People go and check this out. Help my boy out, Nick. And like I said, like I really, I know you have technical issues when you do this stuff, but I don't know how, man. You sound professional as fuck on all those other shows. Like your equipment, your voice, your mic, everything's awesome. So people definitely check that out. Nick, thank you. I hope to see you again sometime, man.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely be on again. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care, bro.
All right, see you.
Have a good one, Nick.
Yeah, and I know I already went and everything, but I do have one more thing to say. Because I was just thinking while you guys were giving your predictions, or not predictions, but just what you guys would do to be the booker. And mine, I think it's pretty obvious. You got Nakamura right here. Have him feud in a dance-off match with Lana. It's just like right there.
All right.
If that shit happened, I would literally call WWE headquarters myself and beg them to please let them go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Please.
All right, y'all can attack the chat. Anime Night's probably next week. I don't know what the fuck. Tomorrow's the Midnight Chat Attack. Peace.
No, but I think that should happen. But no, man. On that note, though, it is time to attack the chat. There it is. It's yellow. I just did it. Boom. See that? It was great. No, man. Fucking hate Nakamura, but I had. No, but yes, it is that time. Anthony, is there anything that we need to plug for?
Just real quick. Just real quick. We're actually having a movie night tomorrow because tomorrow is the big shebanga bang. It's the Saturday. It's the Midnight Chat Attack. 7:30 CST. Check your local listings. Check your other times to see when that is available. But if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you already know it's going to send out a notification telling you when we're on live, just like it's doing it with the MCA Ringside Hangout right now. But when you get that, but the biggest thing that we're actually doing tomorrow is we're actually having a TV watch, after hours watch party. So it's just like people after the MCA, we do this thing called the after hours. And in these particular after hours tomorrow, we're going to be watching episodes that TV episodes that people have recommended on Facebook and stuff like that. I think Alan and Gaja is running it. They got like this little raffle going on, and that's what we're going to be doing. But also,
Jesus Christ,
in terms of events, we also got the Injustice 2 Play Together or tournament. Like I said, if enough people get Injustice 2 and it comes out on the week of the 16th, we might be doing a tournament. But if enough people don't actually get the thing together, get a lot of people don't get the game, we can actually just you still could just come over to the after hours on the week of the 16th and play some Injustice 2 with us. Get your ass kicked. You can even come if you have the mobile version. I know Trey has the mobile version.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, hey guys, I won't buy the game until 2 weeks from now. Please play Injustice Mobile. I need friends.
I would have bought the shit on Tuesday if my wife didn't take my fucking Best Buy gift card.
Damn, man. You guys should get divorced.
Oh shit, man! I already called the lawyer.
You already called a lawyer. Holy shit.
I already called it. Man, you know how many of those divorce signs I'll see on the damn road? $99 to file for divorce. No lawyer needed. I was like, well, fucking hey, how much?
Hey, here comes Rita right now. Rita's turning green. She's about to hit your ass.
Bruh.
I'm coming for you. Bruh. But guess what, though, man? It's time to attack the chat. I'm going to attack the chat like he's going to attack her, or she's going to attack him. She's going to whoop your ass, Hovik.
Well, she ain't here. She's at work.
Oh, you're lucky.
I turned into a fish. People on 3. 1. 1. 3. Attack
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania was not as bad as fucking SmackDown. Motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. Okay. Fuck SmackDown. How's that?
It is.
It's ridiculous.